Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we are once again back on Modern Warfare, and I wanted to share with you guys one of the most used and overpowered professional Call of Duty player class setups here in Modern Warfare. I know a lot of people are looking for the best class setups. Obviously, we're still fairly early in the game. It's been out a month, and there are a ton of attachments that players are testing out and trying to figure out which ones go better with others and which ones work for certain guns. But this is a class setup with the M4 that I've found a ton of professionals using. A lot of the pro players run around with this thing, and it is one of the best class setups, I must say. Myself, I am not a professional player. I don't consider myself to be extremely good. I'd say I'm fairly good. But when I started running this class setup, I was actually doing so much better than I generally do. So I thought that it was worth making a video and sharing it with you guys so you guys can test it out and see if you can make it work. So obviously we're going to be using the M4A1. This is going to be what is known in the pro community as kind of a slow assault rifle class. There's going to be a slow AR. So essentially you're just going to kind of be playing defensive with this thing. You don't want to be overly aggressive. We're not going to be rushing spawn with this. The mobility isn't the best, but the accuracy, the control, and the range is insane, and it's really, really good. So if you look down at the bottom left where the stats are for all the attachments, you'll see our accuracy is buffed significantly, which is great for the M4 because the accuracy is already really good. So you're pretty much going to laser people from across the map. The range is way up as well, just like the control is, and our mobility is knocked down a little bit, hence why I said this is a slow AR. We're not going to be rushing spawn. The attachments we're going to be using, the muzzle we're going to be using is the compensator. This is going to give you recoil control. This is going to buff your accuracy and buff your control a little bit, which is great. And then the barrel we're going to be running is the stock M16 Grenadier. This is a really great attachment, not to just run with this, but to run with a lot of the weapons that have these pros. The damage, range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, obviously buffing everything that we need to and knocking down our mobility just a little bit. As you'll see, our aim down sight speed is moved down a little bit, but our movement speed is slowed as well, which isn't a big deal because we are playing defensive. We're not going to be using a laser. Obviously, it's an AR optic. We're using the GI mini reflex. This doesn't matter too much. So when it comes to the reflex on this weapon, I would recommend a mini reflex in general, but you can use any of the mini reflex. I know some people like using the standard Cronin. Some people like using the GI, like myself. You can run whichever one you want, but I would recommend running the mini reflex. We're not going to be using a stock. The underbarrel we're using is Commando foregrip. This is going to give us recoil stabilization and aiming stability, obviously buffing our accuracy, range, and control once again. We're not running any extra ammunition. There's plenty in the M4 to go around. And last but not least, our rear grip is stippled grip tape, which is going to buff our aim down sight speed and our sprint to fire speed. So our aim down sight speed is going to go back to about normal, and the sprint to fire speed is going to go up, which is really, really nice. As most of you guys know, that wins a lot more gunfights, to be able to run around a corner and aim down sight and start shooting much quicker than you would if you didn't have this on. So using that stippled grip tape is definitely a good thing to run. The secondary we got to use is the M19, and you'll see in the attachments we're going to be using a XRKV extended barrel. This is going to give us more range with this pistol. We're going to be using the 1MW laser, which is also going to buff our mobility like it does on most of the SMGs, which is great to have. Obviously, we're going to run pretty quick with this thing. If you didn't know, you actually run really, really fast with this pistol. It's actually faster than using the combat knife, as we've seen in a lot of YouTube videos. And then trigger action, we're going to be using the match grade trigger. That's going to buff our fire rate a little bit. No ammunition. Rear grip, we're using a stippled grip tape once again, buffing our mobility. And last but not least, FMJ, so that we can shoot through walls or doors if we need to. So those are the weapons we're using. Perk-wise, the importance of this class setup is EOD for sure. We obviously don't want to get killed by random grenades or claymores, which can get very, very annoying. If you're playing professional, like game battles, MLG, whatever you want to call it, obviously you don't have to worry about claymores, C4s, or proximity mines. But it's always nice to have because people are throwing frags and Simtexes all over the place. The second perk that we're going to be running is Point Man. You can also run Ghost. I like Ghost a lot, but we are sitting in the back. We're not going to be playing extremely aggressive, so Ghost isn't too big of a deal. And last but not least, Battle Hardened is going to be our third, which is obviously one run by a lot of you guys as well as myself. The specialist perks we're running are double time. Obviously, this is going to help us move quicker because this is a slow AR. So we are going to be jumping in that rat race to get to the location. As you guys know, with this game, Modern Warfare specifically, it's mainly just a race to see who can get to where they want to set up first to win gunfights. So having double time is going to make up for our lack of mobility with the M4. We're using tune-up as our second specialist perk, which reduces the charge time of your field upgrade. So if you're running dead silence like you should be, you're going to be able to get a lot more often and much quicker. And last but not least, we're running scavenger. By the time we get to this, obviously this is 6 kills deep. We are probably going to need more ammo. So being able to have that as our last one is kind of clutch, because by the time we get to that point where we need more ammo, we'll be unlocking scavenger and being able to replenish. So these are the perks we're going to be using. Lethal, we're going to be using Simtex, and tactical, we're going to be using smoke. I cannot stress enough how important smoke grenades are if you want to do well. They are so clutch for all the game modes that you play, whether it's hardpoint, search and destroy. They're amazing. So if you're playing search, you can throw a smoke in the middle and get to a bomb site, or you can get to your camping location. You can get to where you want to go and not have to worry about getting sniped across the map by a god. Or if you're playing hardpoint, you can do the same thing. If you're trying to rotate to the next hardpoint, you can toss a smoke in the middle of the map, or you can throw it in the previous hardpoint and kind of throw the enemies off, scare them a little, slow them down, and give yourself that opportunity to get to the next hardpoint if that is the game mode of choice. But anyway, guys, that is the class setup. The last but not least field upgrade, like we just said, was dead silence. Make sure you are running that. It's very, very important. But yeah, so that is the best class setup that most of the pros have been using recently. If you guys like this, please use it and let me know in the comments what you think and if it has helped your game. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video. Can we be friends?